Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be giving you some remedies to help you get to sleep if you suffer with anxiety, and even get to sleep if you don't suffer with anxiety as well, but just have difficulty getting to sleep. Hi, my name is Deb and welcome to Women Reinventing MidLife TV, where we aim to inspire women over 50 to thrive in a meaningful life that you deeply desire and deserve. So anxiety can be so debilitating, most especially if we're having difficulty sleeping with anxiety as well, because during this process of sleep, there's important bodily functions that happen. It goes through a process of repair and recovery. And so if we're not sleeping, what it means is that our anxiety could actually increase because we're not sleeping. So it's important that we learn how to get to sleep so that our body can go through those important recovery and repair functions. Now, over the years, I've been through different experiences like burnout, menopause, and even when my father passed away, where I suffered with severe bouts of anxiety. And during those times, I found some products, some remedies, and learned some practices that would help me calm the anxiety so that I could get to sleep. And I'm going to share some of those remedies and practices with you today. So let's have a look at the remedies first. So if I were having difficulty getting to sleep, or if I was suffering with anxiety and feeling too anxious to get to sleep, one of the first things that I would do is turn off my phone. So we get addicted to our phones sometimes, and that means that sometimes we're looking at our phone without even realizing. So turning off the phone is going to help you with this. The last thing you want to do if you're having difficulty sleeping is go on to social media and start scrolling through your newsfeed. That is the worst possible thing for sleepless nights. If you want to get to sleep, you want to calm your mind down. And scrolling through social media can activate us to think about things that we wouldn't normally think about. So it's important that we create a calmest environment that we possibly can for our minds so that we can get to sleep. So that's the number one thing that I would do. The second thing that I might do is to change my environment that I sleep in. So sometimes when we get into that sleeplessness, then we get into a pattern, and our mind can associate that particular room that we have difficulty getting sleep in. It can associate that room with not being able to get to sleep. So we need to change that. We need to nip that trigger in the bud, and we can do that by changing the room that we're sleeping in. Now, if you have a guest room or a spare room, it's pretty easy to do that. You know, even in the past, I have had a really good night's sleep on the couch just by changing the environment. So changing the environment can help you get to sleep as well. In the process of winding down for sleep, which is really important for you to do, is to get your body to notice that it's time to go to sleep. In that time that you're winding down to go to sleep, one of the things that I do if I have difficulty sleeping is to have a cup of tea that's going to relax me. And this is the one that I would go to at the moment. In the past, I've used sleepy time tea or chamomile tea. It's been really, really helpful for me. But this is the one that's in my cupboard at the moment. This is a higher living product. You can get this in Australia in Coles or Woolies. They have it on the shelves there, and it's called Sweet Dreams. And this one is a herbal infusion of lemon balm, lavender, and chamomile, and it's a fabulous relaxing drink. And if you're suffering with anxiety, it's really soothing to have a nice warm drink before you go to bed as well. So this is the one that I'm drinking at the moment if I need to. And there are lots of others on the market as well. So anything really that contains chamomile is going to help you get to sleep or relax you and prepare you for sleep. let's have a look at some remedies that are available for you to just buy off the shelves. Lavender is a beautiful, beautiful product. It's a very old remedy for sleeping. It's a very old remedy for calming us down. It's very calming. It's very relaxing. It's beautiful in a bath. So having a bath with a scoop of magnesium flakes, Epsom salts, and a couple of drops of lavender oil is really going to relax you so that you can go to sleep when you get to bed. Lavender is wonderful for anxiety. I also use lavender pretty much every night because I find it relaxes me, because I have a lot going on with business and life. I find it relaxes me so that I can get to sleep easily. And the way I use it, you can get, actually, this is a doTERRA product. You can actually get a doTERRA product with a little ball on the end where the lavender is mixed with a carrier oil. And I would suggest that you mix it with a carrier oil. And I put a dab on each temple. I put a dab on my third eye. Sometimes I'll put a dab on my throat chakra, and sometimes even on my heart chakra, because often when we have anxiety, we can feel a real tightness in the chest, can't we? So this I find is very, very helpful, even just to relax, to go into the sleep process, whether you suffer with anxiety or not. Lavender is a beautiful, beautiful product. Here's another oil. This is Vetiver. This is Vetiver. And if you haven't met Vetiver before, Vetiver is a beautiful oil. It's made from the sap of a tree, or at least it feels like that. It's very thick. Takes a while for the drops to come out. And when you smell it, it smells just like you've walked into a forest. It's beautiful. It's got that really earthy smell. And Vetiver is a grounding oil. It is a grounding oil. So what that means is it grounds you in the physical moment. Now, one of the problems with anxiety is that our mind separates from our body. Mind just separates from the body. And it separates because we're worrying about the future. Well, the body is in the present, isn't it? It's in the physical moment. It is in the present. So when we're worrying about the future, it causes the mind to separate from the body. So Vetiver is wonderful for bringing your mind back to your body, to ground you in the physical experience. And I don't use Vetiver every night. It's not something I use every day. But if I am having difficulty sleeping, I will put a drop on the soles of my feet, and I'll just rub it into the soles of my feet. It's beautiful. It just relaxes me just by smelling it. And I found it very, very helpful for helping me get to sleep on those nights that my mind's a little bit active and I'm having difficulty getting to sleep. Vetiver is a lovely product. And you'll notice that I do use doTERRA oils. The reason I know they can be a little bit expensive. The reason I do is I know they're a good quality oil and they're sustainably sourced. So they sustainably source them from different parts of the world. And that's what I like about them. So that's the reason I use doTERRA. But I'm sure that you can get Vetiver oil in many other different oil ranges. So it is a beautiful, beautiful oil to use. This is a new one. I haven't used this one for long, so there's not a lot of feedback I can give you about it. So this, if you can see it, is a Lifewave product, and it is called Eon. Now, Lifewave produce a range of patches, and they're patches for different purposes. And they have a general one, they have a patch for producing glutathione, they have a number of different patches. So this one is specifically good for reducing inflammation and relaxing the nervous system. And I have noticed, even though I haven't been using it for long, I have noticed I've had a couple of really, really deep sleeps using these patches. What I love about these, again, is that they're natural and they don't put anything foreign in your body. So how do they work? How do they work? So they're like a Band-Aid. You pull the paper off the back, but you stick them on acupressure points. And in that patch is liquid crystals, and it's sealed in medical grade plastic. So what that means is none of those crystals actually go into your body. They sit on the surface. And what they do is they react with your body's infrared system. So they actually work with light waves, and they trigger your body to produce a function or do a function that is actually missing. So wherever you're out of alignment, this one actually helps your body relax, and it helps your body reduce inflammation. And like I said, I've only just started using it. I've only been using these patches for just over a month, and I'm really curious as to what they can do. So I'll keep you posted on this. And if you want to know more about these patches, reach out, just comment underneath the video and I will get back to you. Definitely get back to you. This is a fantastic product. And it was invented by a scientist who was contracted to work for the Navy SEALs over 20 years ago. And he's used that technology to now produce products that the general public can use as well. And this is one of them. Now, before we go into the practices, if you're finding this video helpful so far, please subscribe to this channel and click the bell for notifications, because your subscription helps me continue to bring more information like this to you. And I'd love to hear your comments too. Anything you'd like to comment, any questions that you have, just comment underneath the video. So let's get into those practices now. So the first one is to deep breathe. Now, you might have heard a lot about deep breathing in the past, and you may have even tried it and it hasn't worked. So sometimes it is a combination of things. So remember that it's very holistic, getting out of the anxiety pattern so that you can get to sleep. So it's never normally just one thing. So it might be that you need to try a combination of different things that I might have shared with you today. But one of those things that is extremely important is breath. Because when we're in anxiety, we're generally breathing from the top half of our lungs, because we're panting, because we're in the fear response, right? That's what anxiety is. It's the fear response. And that means that we're activating the sympathetic nervous system, which keeps us in the fear response, ready to take action. So we want to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part of our nervous system that activates when we're relaxed or we're about to go to sleep. And the way we can do this is with deep breathing, and it is using our whole lung, not just the upper part of it. And as we focus on our breath, it allows us to let go so that we can get to sleep, because our parasympathetic nervous system is being activated. So deep breathing is number one. Number two, the practice is meditation. Now, meditation has been used to get to sleep, and I wouldn't advise someone to use meditation to get to sleep, because the practice of meditation is all about focusing our mind, and we're not actually meant to go to sleep when we're meditating. It's about focusing our mind. But the good thing about meditation is that it helps us focus our mind so that we can come into the present moment, so that we're bringing our mind into where our body is. That's the important part of meditation, so that when we're ready to go to bed, then we can get to sleep. So meditating before you go to bed might be a fabulous practice to use that will work for you, but actually getting to sleep, the deep breathing process is going to help you with that. Practice number three. Now, this is something that I would use if I've been having difficulty getting to sleep, because generally I do this in the mornings not at night. But the practice that I use is slightly different at night if I want to go to sleep. And that is yoga. With meditation, sometimes when we're in the anxiety pattern, it becomes very difficult to focus our mind because our mind wants our body to move, right? So the practice of yoga allows our body and our mind to meet together. So our body's actually moving and our mind is needed to focus on what our body's doing. So our body and mind come together more naturally through the process of yoga. And I want to let you know that next week, I'm going to be releasing a video with a short yoga flow that I use when I'm having difficulty going to sleep. So make sure that you look out for that next week. And so there you have it, some remedies and practices to help you get to sleep if you're having difficulty with anxiety, or even if you're just having difficulty getting to sleep. Give it a go. There's a number of different remedies and practices there. And sometimes it's just finding the combination that is right for you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and click the bell for notifications so you don't miss out. And I look forward to connecting with you again in the next video. Bye-bye.